Good morning. The smartphone world is fast changing. I mean, from the onset of the year, several mobile providers, mobile manufacturers have released new devices into the market. With the advent of 5G spreading into many more locations, 5G seems to be a basic requirement for smartphones. Now, we are seeing phones being released with different features, with high-res cameras, such that with very huge sensors that you definitely wouldn't require, a video camera. Smartphones are really evolving to be better, to be more acceptable and more robust in terms of our day-to-day activities. I mean, you need a good smartphone that can record video. You need a good smartphone that can store the pictures and videos that you've recorded as memories that you want to give to the society or to your friends. You equally need a smartphone with reliable performance. That means the chipset has to be really good. That also means the graphics card, because smartphones are not just phones to text or check social media. We are talking about gaming. People are using their phones to game and make a living out of it. So what else do we need in smartphones? I don't believe that we are yet to peak, but 2023 is surely an interesting year to watch. And here in Kenya, we at Traction Tech are really happy to let you know on that journey. So welcome to today's unboxing of a mystery device that just arrived this morning, and I have this guy over here, the Oppo Reno8 T 5G. Now, this is not Oppo's successor to the Oppo Reno8 5G and 4G that are being sold in the country right now. Equally, this is not a replacement of that. It's more of a refresher. A refresher in the sense that it brings into the market the common features that we saw in the Reno8, but also refines and brings in ColorOS 13, which is the skin for Oppo, onto Android 13. And this enables us to have more control or have a smooth performance. So in today's unboxing, we're going to unbox this guy, and before we do that, I'm just going to read you the specs. Mine is in the Sunset Gold version. You can Sunrise Gold. I beg your pardon. It's in the Sunrise Gold. It's an 8 gig, 256 GB, 8 GB RAM, 256 GB ROM. This features a 6.7 inch curved AMOLED display with a very fast 120 Hz refresh rate. This is my first device to test with a 120 Hz refresh rate. Number two, it is a dual SIM, but it's sort of a hybrid dual SIM, because on the second SIM slot you can choose if you want to use a second SIM or you want to put a micro SD. Again, seemingly we seem to have the 256 GB becoming a more common base storage in the country, but this doesn't mean that the 8 GB 128 GB trim doesn't exist. So it still exists. So what's inside this box? And I'm gonna peel. This is one of those moments that I love doing. I love doing that. Something to note, if you've checked on our 3 Oppo unboxing videos that we have done, Oppo seems to have abandoned the green box that we were used to. The Reno7 4G, which is our first device to review and unbox, the Reno8 5G also had the same green box, but this one is a more compact box, and I'm just wondering what is inside here. So this is the part where we all love, and the camera will be on 3, 2, 1. Let's just see what's inside this box. Okay, there we go. Okay, so on top, of course, we find this amazing leaflet, which we shall start with. Let's see inside. Okay, nice. We have an accented TPU clear case. We have that pokey pin, SIM ejected pin. Enough guides here to help you, understand your phone. So these ones are gonna go back inside here. You know what? We'll deal with them in a short while. I'm gonna go there. Of course, here's the phone, which I will come to in a short while. Let's check You know, these days smartphone manufacturers seem to remove the charger and they just leave you with a cable. So I don't know. I think there's a charger. I think so. Yep. And I was right. And it's a beefy 67 watt SuperVooC fast charger. I mean, I have been using an 80 watt SuperVooC charger, so filling my Reno 8 from 0 to 100 in 28 minutes. So I'm wondering how much this one is going to do on this one. Aside from the charger, we equally also have, you know, the USB A to C cable, which is over here. We'll come to all these things a little bit later on. You're not here to unbox the charger, here to unbox the phone. And so this is the part where we all wait for. And in 3, 2, 1. Satisfying feeling. Quite a satisfying feeling. And look who we have here. Look who we have here. I mean, it's already has a pre-installed screen protector, so don't worry about the fingerprints. But this is a curved display, 6.7 inches. This is huge. I've been using a 6.43, so this is a huge step up. Also, if you carefully look at this device, depending on how the light hits it, as much as it's a sunrise gold, it gives a different accent. So I'm just gonna remove this sticker, yes, which is not needed on the video, and just show the back of the device. This is, I don't think this is glass. Just by touching it, I already know that this is a polycarbonate, a fancy word for the word plastic. And it has a plastic back with an aluminium frame, and the curved display curves into this, and the back also curves into it, making it a very thin and very comfortable phone to hold. It features the following things. Like I said, this is a 120 Hz 3D curved display. Yes. It's 1080p by 2400 pixels, which means it's quite bright. It's an AMOLED display, which means we still also get the under display fingerprint reader. It has a 108 megapixels main camera, which is here. The biggest we've tested on this channel is the 64 for the Reno 7. So let's see what 108, this is double the megapixels count. Let's see what this one can do. Of course, it has 2 other cameras here. I can see there's a 40x microscope camera, which means we can zoom in 40 times. So we'll actually test this on so many things, especially leaves. And then of course, you know, that other camera they add there to just add to the numbers. This is called the depth sensor. But yes, so how does this phone perform? How does it feel? The Oppo Reno8 T 5G is powered by a Qualcomm Snapdragon 695 5G chipset, which is not the most power hungry, neither is it the most power efficient, neither is it the most powerful. It's just that efficient chipset. It will do the kawaida gaming. So if you're talking of, you know, things like Asphalt 9, you're talking of things like Genshin Impact, it will probably do it, but not to the league that you expected, because this is not a gaming oriented chipset. However, it brings in 5G, and as much as here in Eldoret we don't have 5G, in my village we do. So I will be planning a trip to the village, because in the full review I need to give you the history or the story about 5G and this phone. Other than that, this phone has that, you know, 108 megapixels main camera, which is this big thing over here. It has a 40 times zoom microscope lens and a depth sensor and that flash. So there are 2 camera modules. Okay, so when you go around the phone as usual, so on the right hand side we have that power button. On the bottom side we have the bottom firing speaker, the USB Type-C, and the SIM tray. On the left side of the phone we have the volume rocker. On the top side of the phone we have the microphone and an outlet for the secondary speaker. Oh, this one has secondary, it has stereo speakers. And of course, down here at the bottom we also have that other microphones. So it is a well-rounded device. The other thing is that this phone has a 4800 milliamperes battery, which charges very fast with, you know, this beefy guy over here, the 67 watt SuperVooC charger. And it doesn't have an earphone jack, which a 3.5 millimeter earphone jack, which is not a problem because, again, where the world is moving to, I think that 3.5 millimeter jack is being left behind. So what else would you want to see in the review? We will definitely take enough of track and bus pictures and even just nature so that we can give you the story. Of course, I already know that because of the Snapdragon 695 5G, it's already capped the video resolution at 1080p 30 FPS, and so, you know, no 4K recording over here. It has that 32 megapixels Sony IMX709 camera lens, which we have seen it. This is the third phone that we have that has the same lens, so we already know the performance. Let's see the AI algorithms that it has, especially with the way Android 13 and ColorOS 13 has been. Now, I did mention that it has an AMOLED display, so here we're expecting, you know, that always in display, we're expecting the deep blacks and stuff like that. But what else would you want to know on this phone? We will be doing a full review much later, and we hope that by us testing this, it will convince you, because this is more of a refresher than a replacement, because the Reno8 5G is on a different league compared to this one. So let us know by commenting down there, what else would you want to learn about this good guy over here. My name is Double A, and welcome to the Oppo Reno8 T 5G unboxing and first impressions. I'll catch you on the full review.